Hi there, it's Allison Tibbs, and I wanted to create a video to talk to you today about goal setting. I know that there are a lot of books out there about setting goals like SMART goals or whatever. That's not exactly what this video is about. This video is more so talking to you about really taking a step further with your goals, and even before you even create your goals, there's certain things that you have to do and think about. Because a lot of people are really good about creating a SMART goal. That's smart, that's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time specific, or whatever words you use to create the SMART acronym. We're really good about that. We'll sit down, we'll have these really great SMART goals, but then most of us don't really achieve those goals. So I want to talk to you a little bit about maybe why you're not achieving those goals and what I've been doing when it comes to my goals. Over the past few years, I've really spent a lot of time just really understanding the process and the logic and the mindset and the shift around goals and goal setting. And it's been really interesting now as I go through my goals and really making that like a part of my daily life, seeing the goals that I'm able to check off at a much quicker rate and even surpassing the goals that I've set for myself. So I'm going to share that with you guys today. So the first thing you want to make sure that you're being very clear on what you want to achieve and accomplish. I think that's something that a lot of people miss the mark on, is that they set these very vague goals, or they're going to set goals that don't really challenge them or push them, or take them to this next level. When you're setting goals, it's the clarity that you have and the goals that you set provide you with the guidance and the direction of what you should be doing to reach that goal. So if you're very vague about your goal, like, oh, I just want to lose weight, or I want to pay off debt, or whatever, when I used to create goals like that, I found that I never really got much progress or got far along in that goal. But when I realized, okay, Allison, you have $12,000 of credit card debt, you need to get, and you want to be debt free, let's figure out what needs to be done. And I broke down that goal and I said, okay, every single month I want to pay off $1,000 on my credit card. So I didn't really know how that was going to happen, but at that moment I knew that in 1 year I wanted to be debt free for my credit card. So I made that very clear statement of $1,000 a month. Now, here's the beauty of that. Once you know what you're going to accomplish and achieve and what your goal is, because the goal was to be debt free, but because I was so focused and clear on what I really was trying to do, it was the goal is to be debt free by the end of the year by paying off $1,000 a month. So $12,000 of debt, $1,000 a month for 1 year means I'm debt free. So that gave me very clear, specific, measurable, SMART goal or whatever. But the beauty of it is when I figured out, okay, $1,000 a month, that leads me to my next thing, is you have to know what it takes to reach that goal. So already I knew to reach that goal, I had to do $1,000 a month. So then I had to take it a step further and figure out how to find an extra $1,000 a month in my budget, or how to make an extra $1,000 a month to make sure that that happens. So being a coach and a trainer, that was either, okay, I need to take on another client, or I need to, do a few boot camps or whatever it is to add to my already schedule to find an extra $1,000 a month to use to my credit card bill. So that way I'm not strapped for cash. On the flip side, I also went and I researched. I went on to Google and YouTube, and I joined a bunch of Facebook groups that showed me, that talked about budgeting, that talked about some accountability groups that were around like building your credit and what should you pay off and different things. So I was learning from these Facebook accountability groups. I was on YouTube looking at videos. I was listening to podcasts. One of my coaches, my business coach, she had a money mindset person who came on, so I did a lot of work with money mindset. On my back, kind of there's T. Harv Eker's Millionaire Mind book. So I was just reading all of these things and getting a lot of research done to figure out what I needed to do. And I had a pretty good plan. So it was a mix of cutting out expenses that I didn't really need. So I ended up canceling my Kindle Unlimited membership and my Audible membership. And I canceled a bunch of other recurring membership things like that I wasn't really using. I got a library card, found out that my library had access to ebooks and audiobooks I could listen to, so that was perfect. And I just started finding ways to save money, and I got using Digit, which is also a really cool app. So that was like every time I don't know how it works, but they like basically save money for you automatically. I'll put the link to Digit down below if you want to check that out. It's really cool. But so I was finding all these different ways to just create that buffer of $1,000 a month. Okay, so that's what you do. Number one, be very clear what you want. Number two, know what it's going to take. Do the research. There's tons of resources available for you guys to help you figure that out. The third thing that you want to do after you've written down a very clear goal, you know you've done the work to figure out what it takes. Three, you have to make this a daily or a consistent habit or activity or something that you're doing on a very regular basis. So, when it comes down to paying down debt, it could be every week. You're looking at the money that you're saving, or you're checking your bank account every day to see if there's any transactions that you could do without, or tracking your money, or whatever it is, like whatever I needed to do, I was doing it. I was doing it regularly. So I got an account with Mint.com. I had my Digit account. I kept every single month I was going through my budget and finding expenses that I could lower. I was doing all the work needed, but it was a very consistent thing. So it wasn't just like, oh, I do it when I feel like it or whatever. It's like every single day, every single week, every single month, I had these like milestones and these things that I made time for to do. Sitting down and doing your budget is not fun, but it was necessary for me. So I made time to do it. I didn't let my excuses take over. I didn't, pick and choose when I wanted to do it, when I didn't. It was really about being consistent with that. So when you're really clear about what you want to do, and you know what it takes, and you create that time and you create that commitment to working towards that goal on a very regular basis, you're building momentum, and it's like a snowball effect. Like it just keeps building and building and building, and then you're moving closer. People who don't typically reach their goals, this is where like they kind of stop here. They don't make the time. They only do the activities, they only do the work when it feels like they want to do it versus when they know they should be doing it consistently. So if you're kind of stuck, then chances are you're probably not doing what you need to be doing on a very consistent basis. And then what you also want to do is track your progress, track what you're doing. For me, I had an Excel spreadsheet. So every single month I had my expenses, I had what I was spending, and I had it compared to my budget. And I made a little like a graph, and it was so cool for me to see how the graph was kind of going down and down and down with my credit card debt. And being able to see that was really awesome. And also if I had some like blips or moments where I wasn't doing that great, I could see in that week what I was doing well. I could look at my Mint.com account. I could look at my bank statements. I could look at my Digit account and see what was really going on. But I was always tracking my progress to know where I was standing and to know if there was anything that I need to take a better look at. Now, one thing to think about this, so this leads me to my fifth part, is, if you're doing a good job of tracking your progress, then the cool thing about it is the next part, as I call it, the 3 R's, which is reassess, reward, repeat. So if you've been tracking your progress, you can take a look at, over a month and say, okay, this is where I am. This is what I have accomplished or achieved. This is where I could probably do a little bit more work. I actually found more money that I could be saving and putting towards my credit card, because I was tracking my progress. I was able to reassess some things. Then I also realized, you know what? I may actually can bring back my Kindle Unlimited because I found other ways to save money, or because I got a new client, that's an extra $500 or whatever into my monthly, cash flow. Now I can use some of that to, whatever. So I could go back and doing things like eating out more or whatever the case was. And that kind of leads into the rewards part. So I started to reward myself when I was doing something great. Like if you're really being diligent with your money, then, I was doing my own nails. I was doing all these different things. And, once I kind of got the flow of things, like, I'm gonna treat myself to a manicure and pedicure because I've done a really good job. So that like $50 isn't gonna hurt me because I'm not doing it all the time, and I'm making progress, and I'm getting closer to financial freedom, to where soon I'll be able to get manicures and pedicures whenever I want to. And then once you kind of know that process, you just repeat it again. So take a look at your goals and do you want to change it? So now I'm at 6 months away, 3 months away. Okay, how much money do I have left to pay off? Can I bump it up a notch? Do I need to bring it down because of other expenses that have come up, like paying taxes or whatever? And then you do again. What is it going to take? create the time, track your progress. If you've done that, then you reassess what you're doing well, figure out what you're not doing so great at, reward yourself for the great things that you are doing, and repeat it over and over again. So hopefully this is helpful for you when it comes to goal setting and